you want to win the All-Valley Under-18 Karate Tournament, you got to give me better than your best. Which is why from now on, you're going to get my worst. Do you understand?
Yes, Sensei!
Are you losers?
No, Sensei!
Are you nerds?
No, Sensei!
Are you sure?
No, Sensei!
Not too long ago, Johnny Millennium and I took a look at the first 2 episodes of Cobra Kai on YouTube because those were the only 2 episodes that were available for free because we don't get YouTube Red in Canada. And I didn't know that you could actually go onto YouTube on the desktop and purchase the rest of the season for $2.50 a pop, which is exactly what I've done now. I've watched all of the episodes in the first season. Season 2 has already been greenlit. That means this is a big hit show and it has every reason to be. This is a phenomenal experience. It brings back Ralph Macchio and William Zabka from the original Karate Kid movies. There's lots of terrific flashbacks to events that occurred in Karate Kid, and it's just a heartwarming, amazing experience when you're watching this thing, particularly for someone like me and Johnny that grew up in the 80s and watched this original film series kind of take flight, and we were also so super entertained by that back then. It was a huge phenomenon back in the 80s, and to have these sequences that we remember from seeing these movies intercut against these older actors, and there are some great cameos of other actors that have appeared in the film, re-emerging in this series. It's just wonderful because we don't really get that too often. We don't really get a pickup 35 years later like this, and it's really cool. And the fact that Ralph Macchio and William Zabka have both aged so gracefully and they inhabit their roles so effortlessly, they get right back into kind of karate shape, and you can believe them as these two, trainers, these two senseis that are training new recruits. And I like the kids. I was a bit sort of taken aback by the kids in the first couple of episodes because it felt like they were just sort of cramming them down our throats and kind of trying to throw the new generation at us.
Nice shirt.
Thanks.
I'm joking, it sucks.
But over the course of the full 10 episodes of the first season, you really start to believe in them and care about them. And the fact that Cobra Kai as a new dojo kind of changes its trajectory a little bit from the scumbag dojo that it was in the 80s was super heartwarming as well. It's kind of like the Bad News Bears dojo, which is great, and all these misfits are brought into karate shape.
When I look around this dojo, I don't see Cobra Kai material. I see losers, I see nerds, I see a fat kid with a funny hat with his tits popping out.
God, I just couldn't believe the emotional sort of notes that this show was getting to. I thought it was fantastic. I was really moved when Ralph Macchio put up the picture of Mr. Miyagi and then started training and started getting back into the zen of his karate routine, and it was just such a well-captured moment. And then, of course, we get flashback pieces where Mr. Miyagi is training him, and then and then Ralph Macchio trains another new kid, and you just start to care about all of them. There's a lot more layers, there's a lot more nuance, there's a lot more sort of compassion, streaking through this whole show, and there's always this great sense of self-awareness and comedy as well.
That shit is dope.
This is phenomenal, and it's the exact right move for a massive corporation like YouTube, who has, everybody's camera, including ours, pointed at people, and there's so much content to sort of dive through. But this level of curation and this level of artistic sensibility and shepherding a worthwhile project like this is so fantastic and so remarkable, and I hope that it is the beginnings of lots more experimentation from YouTube. And of course I can think of all of these other 80s movies and cultural phenomenons that could be brought back with new series and stuff, but I am just really impressed that YouTube got behind this, and we have this exceptional series. Cobra Kai is incredible, and there aren't too many other fictional sort of projects that you can point to that have a legacy like that, where you've got older actors returning and just sort of carrying on with their roles so wonderfully. You have to check this show out. I can't wait for season 2. I'm going to give the first season of Cobra Kai a 9.5 out of 10. It is phenomenal.